That wasn't it.
Saturday night, I did hear about what happened after it happened. She was a guest of the event, and she was a guest in a Netflix specific VIP invite only area. And for that to happen reflects poorly on MVP, reflects poorly on women's sports, on sports as a whole. And there's no doubt there was a back and forth conversation between her and Alycia.
You know, I like both of them. Claressa Shields and them. You know, Shields-Baumgardner. You know, I mean, I watched that video probably about, not gonna lie, repeat, probably about 20 times. And I just couldn't wait to hear the fucking slap. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, pow, ooh, ooh, shit. I was like, oh, let me hear it again. Pow, ooh.
Obviously, you're not too fond of Claressa. She said she would go down to 147 to fight Amanda
But she also
Serrano.
said she'd fight Jake Paul.
We're going to get into that, but first...
I'm not saying I'm not fond of her. I don't care. I could care less about that human that exists on the planet, but, like, I'm telling you who she is as a person.
Forget
and
about
the
that.
truth. Like, I operate in a state of truth in my life, and I'm just telling the truth on who she is.
The exclusive VIP section at any major fight card should be where multi-million-dollar deals happen, not where street mentality suddenly takes control. Yet during the historic MVP MMA event in California, headlined by Ronda Rousey's massive comeback, that polished corporate atmosphere completely collapsed around them. Two of women's boxing's biggest names collided in the worst way imaginable. Following a heated verbal exchange, Claressa Shields reached across the divide and slapped Shields-Baumgardner square across the face. This wasn't some carefully planned promotional stunt designed to sell pay-per-views. It was raw, unscripted chaos exploding right there in front of stunned network executives.
I was in your way.
Get out the way. I want to get in there. No. World star. Not right now. I'll referee. I'm calling her to get referee.
Once the sports world got its first look at the footage, the biggest voices had plenty to say. On the Nightcap podcast, Shannon Sharpe and Chad Okocinco-Johnson delivered a ruthless reality check about what had just happened. Okocinco struggled to understand why a seasoned professional would risk everything over words, especially when the physical difference between them was so enormous. He pointed out that Claressa is walking around at 175 pounds during the off-season, while Alycia barely weighs 130. Shannon was just as stunned, wondering why anyone would sacrifice the entertainment of a microphone battle simply by turning an impossible matchup into something physical. They agreed on one thing: you don't put your hands on somebody unless you're willing to settle it inside the ring. And here, a sanctioned fight between them simply isn't possible. Instead of looking intimidating, the host believed she only appeared completely out of control. That was the giveaway. Behind the scenes, boxing was already buzzing with rumors about the serious financial damage this single moment could have created, and potentially damage everything you built. Content creators and industry insiders didn't hold back either. They attacked the idea that you can behave like a wild animal while standing among the very people who control the checks.
Two completely different weight classes.
The MVP afterparty was packed with high-level representatives from Netflix and DAZN. Losing control in that kind of environment doesn't just damage the fighter personally. It can put the percentages of their entire management team, promoters, and sponsors at serious risk.
Claressa, you ghetto, ratchet, musty at the highest level. You miserable. You feeling that pressure from Alycia to Baumgardner. We can all tell. First off, who in the fuck let you in the motherfucking building? They need to be placed on a leave of absence. You managed to get in the building, and immediately you up there on the nosebleeds. How did you slither your ass down to the floor where the fight was cracking at? Now you just in there with the stale face with musty energy slithering all over your body. You see Alycia Baumgardner with Le'Veon Bell, Michael Irvin, James Cameron. You know James Cameron made the motherfucking Titanic, nigga? And then here come your ghetto ass. She got her own hairstylist there. They done put Alycia Baumgardner on the Jumbotron. Everybody pouring the love into her that she prayed for and what she manifested. And you over there just looking motherfucking stank up over there. Your leave out is your motherfucking leave out. Lord child. Now you're walking around and you look to your side and be like, damn, I'm with this married ass nigga. This nigga motherfucking married. Talking about, nah, nigga, instead of trying to fight Alycia Baumgardner, you need to fight that cake. Yeah. Then, how your ghetto ass getting a VIP? How you getting a VIP? Then you go up in there, you try to get in a section. They like, who is this motherfucker walking in with them nasty ass boots on? Then you get in a section and you try to assault the face of women's boxing, Alycia Baumgardner. Just ghetto. You got to have some class. You ain't got to be ghetto and ratchet all the time. Get your mind right. You supposed to be somebody. That's just musty. You pressed. You is pressed. Alycia Baumgardner got you pressed, gang. We gonna get into it next video.
Insiders are saying that losing the corporate bag over a petty squabble exposes a failure to switch from street survival mode into boardroom professionalism. Millions in potential network deals may have disappeared simply because someone couldn't keep their hands to themselves for one night.
Last question, because I've been seeing this video going around.
Yeah.
And for me, like, it's more like some reality TV stuff.
Yeah.
Claressa Shields, Alycia Baumgardner.
Yeah.
All right, I've seen everybody go crazy over the so-called slap.
Right.
And what's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's love and hip hop. I don't think it's real. Why? Claressa Shields is in a great space. She's been doing great numbers. Putting your hands on Baumgardner. I ain't saying she was wrong. Let's get that clear. I ain't saying she wrong because I don't know what they was arguing about. But putting your hands on her ain't gonna get you nowhere because she still ain't gonna fight you. You too big. You know what I mean? It's not gonna happen. So you think if you can't get her in the ring, you think she's gonna fight you in the street? Fuck no. You know, so for me, I don't even think it was real. And Papoose is at that age where you see your younger self and you're like, yo, not saying you know what I mean, your younger age, when you see somebody snapping out, you're like, yo, you don't gotta do all that. You gotta just chill. We ain't on that. I ain't see that from him. He was like kind of letting her go ahead. So that to me made me feel like, oh, they set that up. And the angle was fucked up. You couldn't really tell.
I didn't even see nothing land.
And it looked like she threw a punch. And it looked like a slap, but it sounded like a slap. They made it sound real loud. I don't know. It's just something about it. Something about it ain't sound official.
Rather than deliver the public apology everyone expected, the multi-division champion chose to double down and fire back. Taking to social media, she insisted the viral clip spreading online had been heavily edited and completely twisted the truth. She described her actions as self-protection, making it clear she wouldn't stand silently while being verbally attacked, threatened, and discriminated against. Then came the unexpected twist. She boldly declared that MVP's lifetime ban meant absolutely nothing to her because she had already rejected multiple opportunities to work with them before. And somehow, the story became even stranger. She suggested hidden entities were pouring massive marketing dollars into tearing her down and destroying her reputation. Whether there's really a conspiracy behind the scenes or this was simply an attempt to dodge accountability, her defense left fans with even more questions about what really happened here than answers.
It looked like she might have slapped a Korean out her ass, you know, the lawsuit coming out. Supposedly she might be taking, lawsuit. It is in California. California, shit, you can sue for anything in California. Shit, you break into somebody's home in California and shit, trip over a damn shoe, you know what I'm saying, hurt yourself, and then go and sue them. You can do all kind of shit in California. So, like, it might be a battery charge or some misdemeanor, couple of $1,000s maybe even a little jail. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that, but it is what it is.
Look closer. and you'll start to see that this entire fiasco could be deeply rooted in industry politics and fierce promotional rivalries. The tension between Shields and MVP has been simmering for a very long time. She has openly and repeatedly clashed with Jake Paul's promotional company over their strong backing of Amanda Serrano as the true greatest of all time in women's boxing. That is a title the Flint native fiercely believes belongs to her. Now, whispers across the boxing world suggest that this strict zero-tolerance ban could be more than simply punishment for bad behavior.
On Saturday night, I did hear about what happened after it happened. She was a guest of the event, and she was a guest in a Netflix specific VIP invite-only area. And for that to happen reflects poorly on MVP, reflects poorly on women's sports, on sports as a whole. And there's no doubt there was a back and forth conversation between her and Alycia. But nobody raised a hand other than Claressa. So for us, I would have hoped she would have come out with an apology, but she didn't. She actually texted me that night and said, like, I had a great time. Thank you so much. I didn't respond, confused that what had happened, and that was the text that I'd gotten. And I'm disappointed that this is what has had to have happened. But if you're gonna conduct yourself that way in a non-fight week setting, I've seen a lot of people be like, you didn't ban Mike Tyson when he slapped Jake Paul. They're about to fight. No, we're not going to ban Mike Tyson. The commission may step in and say, you're going to get fined, but we certainly don't ban fighters for having animosity towards each other during fight week. That's why if you saw a release, it says there's a time and place for the banter and for the hostilities. At a press conference even, right? Sometimes that's what helps sell the fight. There was no fight here. There was a bunch of celebrities, athletes, influencers, Netflix executives, MVP employees, and something happened that shouldn't have happened. And I hope Claressa takes responsibility for it. And there's a path to having her at our events again. You know, she's one of the greatest boxers.
While the internet debates the politics, the woman on the receiving end of that slap is making calculated, heavy-handed moves of her own. Shields-Baumgardner isn't simply brushing off the hit and walking away. She is reportedly bringing lawyers into the picture. In a sharp public statement, she made it clear that she was physically assaulted without provocation and that she intends to take this matter through serious legal channels.
We want to ask you about what happened with Claressa Shields and Shields-Baumgardner. Bit of an ugly scene, and MVP has since come out and said that Claressa is banned from attending MVP events. And not that long ago, you know, there were some talks about her fighting on an MVP card or, you know, being co-promoted or something like that. And so what could you tell us about what happened and the aftermath? Is this a lifetime ban? Are you saying you don't want to ever work with Claressa, or is this something that can be fixed? What can you tell us about this?
I would say we worked very hard to try to convince Claressa to sign to MVP. And I think she was pretty open that we did a great job in terms of how we presented to her, in terms of the opportunity. But, you know, she called me one day and said, I'm getting a $3 million offer to sign to Salida and Win Records. And I said, great. Like, I can't justify that number. You should 100% do that. Congratulations. You've set a new bar for a signing bonus within women's sports. Since then, we've worked hard to develop a great relationship, and we've had very positive communication, in-person meetings, just like great understanding between us. I had not talked to Claressa since the Shadeja Green fight. She reached out to me posted, but I thought she was very disrespectful in terms of the way that she was communicating online when a fighter that I care deeply about, but just any fighter, was on the floor unconscious, being rushed in an ambulance to the hospital and ultimately had a brain injury. That was not cool, and it really made me think maybe Claressa and I have gotten too close.
We're now witnessing a critical turning point for one of the most decorated athletes in modern history. The ultimate question remains, can undeniable, once-in-a-generation talent continue to outshine a growing reputation for sheer unpredictability? The entire combat sports world is drawing a hard line in the sand. And this single split-second decision could...
Anyway, as you saw on the tape, Claressa wound up there, cocked back, Bop! Right in the mouth for some confrontation that they're having. Now, let me tell you what my thoughts are on this, because Claressa then doubles down and she puts out a tweet which basically says, yeah, that's what you get when you mess with Claressa. Get the taste slapped out your mouth. Something to that effect. I'll put it up in the graphic in the video. But here's my thing, man. This is great promotion. It's great promotion. It really is. I love it. It's going to be good for Shields-Baumgardner. It's going to be good for Claressa Shields. It's going to be good for their careers. Because you know why? Because ratchet sells. A few years ago, I forget when they put that term to rest, right? Where you just have scantily dressed women over the top with loud mouths screaming back and forth, man. You see Krishan Rock going through that in the fights that she's having with these people in these real life, dramas. I really think that, these people are starting to plan these things out because they're basically being podcasters. What do you call it? In real life, RIL podcasters, in real life podcasters, where like you see Shields-Baumgardner being filmed with, I think the guy's name is DDG, and she's doing live streams with him. She's in the boxing gym with him, right? They're kind of teaming up with with those type of streamers. You have Ryan Garcia, who you saw just last night do a live stream with Tekashi 6ix9ine. They're dressing just alike, and you see Adrian Bronner running around with Dean the Great, and and they're dressing alike. So it's just a big production that these guys are putting on, trying to get their name out there and trying to keep this conversation going, man, in this very, very, very how can you say, swamped media land. And the bigger a fool you act, the more attention that you're
completely rewrite the future of the biggest potential matchups of the decade. So, that's all for today. Hey, if you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.